Ice wasn't that big of a deal for Giants before. They are even banning away the Thresh. Sivir first pick is going to be my guess then for Adri, after seeing also how H2K used it in the last game. And then, if I'm Giants here, I'm going all in. I'm going to say, you know, I want Sivir.
TP Diana mid.
Not TP Diana mid, but I want a composition that can dive onto H2K. And if they want to play these mid-game fights, Diana could work. There's no TP. If they want to take these early to mid-game fights, we're going to try and match them. Standard lanes. We don't want to lane swap anymore. It doesn't work for us. Just match them on the top side if that is. Go and try and pick an all-in composition. It seems to be the only option almost for Giants.
So, new jungler in means Elise does not get banned from H2K, and they're on red side as well, but they have taken away a Zia.
Get it now.
It is Sivir first pick. So, Batong Yoka, coming from solo queue, played for Denial, was actually substituted for Kirai in recent weeks. What will he be running, and will they lock it in this rotation?
Well, if he gets Elise, he couldn't really ask for more. First game here on the big stage. H2K is up 2-0. I saw some people questioning, why would you swap a guy in? You're up 2-0, you know, it's playoff. Well, the thing is here, more and more teams, again in Korea and China and so on, are using substitutes really well. Because again, it gives you another dimension on your team, more players. There's more than 5 players that can work well together, and it gives you more options. So I think this is smart. You're up 2-0. You have honestly had 0 problems so far. I don't think swapping in a new jungler is going to make your entire team collapse.
And especially true when it's been H2K's lanes that have basically won the game for them in both previous matches. Giants are 0-9 against H2K historically. Their 10th defeat could send them to the regional qualifier as the 6th seed. Remember, even if Giants lose right now, they have one more shot to make Worlds if they can run the entire table and take out everybody in the regional qualifier. But that is a big ask for a team that is struggling to handle even relatively basic lane swap decisions at this stage in the competitive scene. They lock in Evelyn and Braum. Some flanking opportunities.
But just look at the whole setup here for H2K again. They're saying, we're going to leave Elise and Sivir open. We know you want the Sivir pick. So if you take it, well, we take what is considered the tier 1 jungler, the best jungler right now. And we get the best support available as well because of the fact that Thresh Morgana has been banned away in this particular matchup here. So they're basically just getting everything they want, because now, down the bottom lane, you can do a Corki into Sivir. At level 6, you're more than fine on the Corki. You can do Tristana into Sivir. Good matchup for the Tristana. Once we can start getting that BF sword, and as long as they're Sivir, I mean, okay, farm matchup against the Tristana, because you can spell shield the bomb, but that is not a problem for Tristana itself. So it is super tricky for Giants, and how are they suddenly going to win the lanes with Sivir? That's one of the reasons she's being played less. If you look at someone a region like Korea, first of all, they do lanes so different. Yeah. So like you don't have Sivir, like they have freezing lanes with the AD carry. Sivir is not that great in that one in terms of the one-on-one against top laner. Second as well, there's a lot of these lane matchups where she's just simply not winning her lane anymore, or she tends to fall behind that lane once she hits 6, 7, and so on. And that's why people are playing her less and less, or one of the reasons. There's obviously different ones. But yeah, there's the Tristana for H2K. Basically somewhat the same setup. A mix, I guess, of the 2 games we've seen.
A mixture of the 2. What does Ryu run in the mid lane to round out H2K's team composition? There's a lot of damage coming out from H2K. There's split pushing options. There's even some team fighting options.
You can just go Ahri if you want to. You have fantastic dive set up.
Full pick comp, basically.
You had their Alistar Fizz, who were fantastic at diving before. Now you add in Elise, probably the best jungler. Again, you can reset the tower aggro by repelling up into the air. You have that fantastic pick potential with your Cocoon, the burst, single target burst coming. H2K, by going Ahri here, will just have that perfect pick set up to set up these tower dives again and again. Twisted Fate could stop the dives from happening, but then H2K is going to do exactly what they did in the last game. Let's not go for the high-risk situation of having to dive for a few kills. Let's walk into the jungle instead. Play around the vision control. Make it a low risk when we create picks, when we take teamfights, when we take towers. You can do exactly the same here. Almost no matter what mid lane pick to lock in, just with the first 4 picks.
Well, that Twisted Fate will be the first time that we've seen Pepinero on that champion in summer. and he's going to need to have a phenomenal performance. Much like we talked about the first Shen Stand United and how impactful it has to be to get whichever lane he's TPing to ahead. The first Destiny from TF is often so crucial because of the opportunity cost, because of you can lose. And we will be seeing our first Karthus at playoffs. So,
Karthus, we have to remember, benefits a lot from some of the new item changes that happened 1 or 2 patches ago. Rylai's, as an example, 40% slow. Absolutely fantastic for the Karthus. At the same time, when you play against a severe composition, you know they're gonna aim to run at you. Well, if you're a Karthus, you want people to run at you. You're like, come to me, please. And this setup here from Giants runs extreme low amount of engage again. It's all basically focused around flank from the Evelynn, flank from the Trundle with the pillar, and then Sivir popping ulti to get the rest of the team in there with them. But again, you're gonna run into the open arms of big teddy bear Rio, who wants to hug you in this team fight.
Hug you with Defile switched on and a wall of pain behind you. Deficio, first Karthus of summer.
Love it. Love me some Karthus. It's about time. After the changes with these items here, man, come on, it was meant to be. Karthus needs to be a thing.
The last time I remember somebody speaking so passionately about a Karthus was Froggen, about a year ago at
I think it's a Danish thing, you know?
It could be a Danish thing. It could be. We'll need to see how Ryu can perform, because if he's going to play as well as he has in the 2 previous games, this could be a clean sweep 3-0. H2K are fighting for a shot at the semi-finals and Origin, and Giants, they just want to stay in the playoffs. Giants need to reverse sweep a team they have not beaten in the last 12 months. The flags are lit as we load onto the Summersra for Game 3 in this best of 5.
Let's see what build Rio wants to aim for here. I would assume seeing again with the Rylai's being strong, with also Tier, once you get it fully stacked, gives extra AP in the late game, really benefits the Karthus. We can see just the Tier Rylai's build, which makes you even fairly strong once we start hitting the mid game. Obviously the goal here for H2K is the fact that you want Ryu to sit and be this farm machine in the mid lane. And you have then his ulti to tip the scale of the side lanes even further in your advantage. Betongyake, my friend, you're in your first game.
Well, it is his first game on the LCS stage, and he's going to be able to get away. Ghost used from Peppy. No summoners on the side of H2K. Giants unable to secure a kill on the Spider.
So again,
is that enough? Is that enough pressure on Betongyake early? Probably not, because he's still got his summons.
Yeah, he's stayed alive. He didn't. He's kind of walked out.
We will find out how he performs on the next episode of Gank Your Lane.
Which lane is he going to gank?
We don't know.
I'm going to say top lane. I would be more than happy to go gank this Trundle here with my Fizz as well. Then again, though, when it comes to standard lanes, we've seen H2K swap. Finally, though, Giants realize this is going to happen, and they counter it. So they go top lane, they take the 2v2 lane. Remember, Braum into Alistar is a good lane for the Braum here. At the same time, Sivir in the early stages, you can have some very effective trades, or you can just basically try and shove the wave in. Allow the Evelynn then to play more the invading game. Obviously, though, if you're on Evelynn, you find an Elise, you gotta think twice, because her early damage is insane, but Evelynn very often is about getting that first jump for herself, because she does have decent burst damage with the E, obviously getting that double hit. So if you have a pushing lane in the top, at least, that might enable the Evelynn to invade him. We're also going to get one-on-one in the bottom side, though.
Eventually. As it stands, the top lane is holding hands of the respective junglers. Red buff being cleared as Frederick and Werlib started on the Krugs, moving their way out to where their duo currently is. H2K on the other side, moving their way up top. So, Aduame's TPing bottom, Werlib doing the same, and there's our 1v1.
Surprisingly enough, game 1, when we saw the Trundle pick, Werlib took the red buff. Even though they saw it was a lane swap, and he never got to use it because, again, it was a lane swap, he walked down and killed the tower, and then his red buff disappeared. Now he knew it was going to be a standard lane, so I wonder why they don't give him that red buff again, if it was, of course, the plan, because these early trades, especially also with a red buff from a Trundle, can be super difficult for the Fizz. You normally want to get a few levels under your belt before you really want to start going aggressive, if you are Odoamne. In this case, they gave it over to Frederick though, so let's see what he can use the red buff 4. At the moment, top lane is going to be very even between the two guys, but they might be shoved in, so that's not a ganking option. Twisted Fate as well in the mid lane is going to early push with the red card, at least from the start, but Ryu can easily shove it back. You are casters after all.
Frederick's got several games played on this Evelyn, pretty good win ratio as well, 75%. And he's going to spot Petong Yoka. Not really going to be able to do much about it though. Equal levels, and Petong's got a lot more HP. So Frederick's just going to chill. He doesn't really know what he wants to do for the time being.
Well, he got vision at least, saw the recall. Potentially a gank in mid lane if you land a gold card from Pepinero. Ryu is very close to his own tower though. Might just be able to force a flash.
Flash and exhaust on Ryu's Karthus, so any all-ins that happen can be made slightly less effective. 26 CS to Pepe's 19. Early advantage to Ryu in the lane waste. Frederick is still hanging around this mid lane, been here for at least 25 seconds. There's no real opportunity for gank unless Pepe tries to force it. Flash is available, as is Ghost. Gold card's primed. Flash away, and they trade Ghost for Flash.
Just saw Pepinero allowed the lane to start pushing back. He didn't keep playing the minions for himself. He didn't want to trade with red card in the middle of them with Ryu as well. So, while Frederick used a lot of time, he got the flash for himself, but also H2K knows he went down towards the bottom side again, so they can communicate to Odoamne. There's a chance he's going to be in the bot lane. So now Odoamne just needs to be a bit careful. Should be able to jump out though in case Frederick pumps out. But again, look at the wave pushing down. So Frederick is using the minion wave to try and find ganks. Petong Yoka though is nearby. Pink ward play. So H2K are reading the situation really well. Saying again, there's a chance maybe on the bottom side. Be careful. Have your jungler nearby. If the 2v2 breaks out, at least damage is going to be insane.
Frederick really wants something to happen. Odoamne's going to have the support of Petong. I think he stepped into minion vision definitely now. And that means Lulex is going to start backing away. So time investment and theoretical possibilities for Lulex not paying off. We should have a look at that top lane, because we still see Adri and Godfred pushing the wave into Hyanan and Kasing. They're even on CS. It seems to be evening out at the moment. We've not watched it too closely.
Exactly what we talked about though. How, yeah, the Sivir wants to try and shove the wave in early, which could enable an invade, especially if Pepinero could shove mid lane at the same time. Frederick was looking for the ganks instead though. But Tristana is more than fine turning that into a farm lane. You don't have to try and go for any trades if you can block your bomb anyway with Spell Shield. Now, might be able to do something here. Problem is Frederick sneaks behind Odoamne, so he gives Odoamne an escape. Because he's basically telling Odoamne, you can Q through me and walk out. So whenever you gank a Fizz, don't sneak in behind him. Because then he just Qs away from you.
Disappointed Dad Deficio telling you how it is. But it's true. And we finally see Frederick backing off. Gonna pick himself up that Skirmisher's Saber. As we poke our eyes up top, 47 CS to 48. Both 80 carries getting to that cusp of the BF swords rather. Adri not afraid to just keep spamming those ricochets out.
But it's a sustain lane.
Farm lane.
Yeah, it's just turned into a farm lane. Nothing else. Pepinero, once he hits level 6 though, once he trades a bit of damage on Petong Yoka, no help on nearby.
Cocoon connects though. Remember that stun timer went up on this patch. Pepinero forced to flash away defensively.
Yeah, we need to see what Petong Yoka wants to max second. Because now that with the fact that Cocoon is 1.6 seconds at rank 1, you don't have to max it anymore. You can max W second. That's what I've seen at least in solo queue, which obviously gives you a lot of extra damage because of that longer duration on your Cocoon in the early stages. But I want to see where Pepinero is going to focus that first gank. You would expect it to be the bottom lane. Try and snowball Whirlip so he can become a split pushing threat. Then Pepinero can always take over the other lane if they want to play the 1-3-1 setup and get away from this Karthus. Don't try and 5v5 team fight on the Karthus.
Deficio, you can never get away from Requiem, which is on Ryu at the moment. Level 7. We did see Odoamne teleport down to the bottom lane. Whirlip is yet to back. Currently sitting on around 1,000 gold. So for the time being, Whirlip's got a small amount of pressure advantage, but has not converted that farm gold into any combat stats. So Odoamne will be able to try burst him down. Pepe respecting the power of the Wall of Pain.
Oh yeah, you just used your flash, for sure. But Ryu here is not going for the tier Rylai's build I was hoping for. Instead he's going to go Rod of Ages still. Late game, yes, it does give you a bit of extra AP, so in terms of the late game scaling, But if you go Rod of Ages Rylai's, I feel like you are delaying some of your core items. Again, stacking a mass amount of AP is so effective on the Karthus. So like, you don't want to delay your death cap for too long. If you want to play, again, I don't even want to play the defense. You don't even need an Hourglass here if you are Ryu. Just go full damage. I mean, again, people are going to be fighting on you. So let's see how long he does. If he just goes Rod of Ages, Death Cap, Void Staff as an option, or what he decides to do later.
And the way Ryu's been performing lately, and the way Giants have not really been able to pressure him, why not just go full damage?
Sure.
So keep in mind, Whirlip still yet to back, so sitting on a lot of money. Frederick does have Agony's Embrace available. And he's got the support of Godfred. There is a Requiem up. Odoamne is going to just play full Trickster away. And
you have no lockdown.
Yep.
You have a slow from the Brom and then potentially a knock-up, I guess, if he does manage to connect his ulti, but then Odoamne really needs to be sleeping. You got the Pillar. You got the slow coming in from Evelyn as well, so you have no ways of stunning the Fizz. So you can just always jump away. You need the Twisted Fate to join in. So if you
Twisted Fates?
If you invest 2 guys on the bottom side,
Ryu, is he going to get stunned? Frederick has been exhausted. Agony's Embrace comes out late, will give a little bit of a shield. Ryu's still alive. Kasing and Batong Yoko were close enough to get involved there, and the fight plays out. Requiem is up and available. Odoamne's gone all in on Whirlip. It's going to go play full Trickster. First blood secured for Whirlip, but it will be a Requiem. No! The damage over time plus Ignite means kill credit to Odoamne with an assist on that Requiem.
Really nice flash though from Odoamne. He flashed out of the damage from the Trickster. Managed to win the one-on-one. Obviously, again, Karthus came in. But that gank before here, I would like to see Giants do the same, but then add in the Twisted Fate. If you want to do that, because one kill, when you have a Trundle as well, can very easily transition into a tower. You can take down these towers super fast with Trundle and Twisted Fate in the side lanes. That's also what we're going to see later on, by the way. The fast pushing of a Sivir and Twisted Fate, and then the tower damage. Remember, Trundle can Q the towers. So, Giants needs to know how many resources they have to use to get a kill. Otherwise, you're just wasting time on multiple guys if you go bot without any hard CC against Odoamne.
Talking about time, the average time to secure your first tower. Stark difference between these two teams. A lot of that can, of course, stem from the lane swaps. In fact, the Giants is traditionally not in them. And in this game, the first non-lane swap of our series, no tower fall in 11 minutes. So playing a little bit more into Giants' comfort zone. And we'll see whether or not H2K can beat Giants when Giants are comfortable. Batong Yoko will be able to land a very easy cocoon as Whirlip face checks. Chumma Waters is not available for a few more seconds. It may not even be needed. Playful Trickster will secure the kill, but look how much damage Whirlip's already putting out.
Yeah, I mean, this Trundle here, again, in the one-on-ones, he's going to go for Hydras. He's probably going to go for Play the Ruined King. It is extremely strong. The problem is, again, Giants are not investing the right resources into him. Pepinero, remember, he used ulti in the mid lane before, even though he spotted 2 or 3 guys coming down to help Ryu. So that was, once again, effectively a wasted cooldown. So first you had 3 guys trying to gank Fizz in the bottom lane. That was never going to work. Then you waste your Twisted Fate ulti in the mid lane, instead of having it here to assist him and turn this one around. It's all these small things that has gone against Giants, where they just haven't been as effective as H2K in this series here. In this game, they could have most likely snowballed this Trundle already.
In this game, Whirlip is now ahead in CS against Odoamne's Fizz. Previous game, Whirlip was playing the Shen and got heavily put behind. It's going to be a little while longer before Odoamne is strong enough to start trading. And there's that tower pressure. 12.5 minutes. A little quicker than Giants' average. And it's global gold to Giants. They hold the gold lead thanks to that objective. Pepe's going to keep chasing, but it's optimistic at best. They did get Ryu's flash once more.
Yeah. But been quite a while between the last gank. Oh, well, the first game we saw from Frederick and now this one. So yeah, flash was ready again. But this Trundle, I'm not even sure if Odoamne is going to reach a point where he feels like he really wants to one-on-one Whirlip. With the fact that he's also, what we normally see in Fizz is like Trinity Force, then you start building tanky from there. Obviously that goes in favor of Whirlip with the fact he's going to steal away so many of those stats. We need to see that once Karthus ulti really starts becoming powerful, he will obviously switch the fight quite a lot around in terms of who can take each other down. But then Pepinero has to be able to join in. Whirlip has been such a good player for you if he gets a good start on a split push. Use it, snowball him. There's no blue buff, my friend.
Repel up from Batong Yaka, there's nowhere to go, and he is down! Pepinero gets the kill with the Destiny involved. I can hear Giants screaming on stage. And in the third game, the last life opportunity for Giants, they maintain a minor level of control.
This really is the best start we've seen Giants have against H2K. I'm not only talking the 2 games we've seen today, I'm also talking the 2 games we've seen in the summer split between these teams. They've always been really far behind in the mid game, but now, small goal lead. Top lane tower though taking a lot of damage from this one, and Yarnan can keep doing it. Now he has that BF sword for himself, so you can start shoving in the waves, you can start taking down towers. But the Trundle is the man to watch for me on the side of Giants. If Odomne can never touch him, Giants will always have that pressure, and it's not exactly like H2K is running a whole lot of engagement on their side to force fights while the Trundle split pushing.
Now, Kasing's going to try zone away Adri and Godfred. Tower secured for H2K, so that will give H2K a minor gold lead. As a quick update for anybody that's trying to follow any of the other regional tournaments happening at the moment, Deficio Productions just informed me that Besiktas, I believe it was, won 3-1 in the Turkish finals.
Double Doge!
Here we go. We'll see how they perform. Whirlip, the man that Deficio wants to watch, flashes in. He's already 1v1'd Odomne, but he will go down to reuse Karthus. If there's any champion you really don't want to feed, it's going to be Karthus. Guaranteed damage thanks to that Death to Fight passive.
Well, the thing is, Whirlip keeps getting fights and he keeps winning them on his own. But then H2K is just better at sending down guys to stop him, or like at least return a kill. Now he was obviously overextending himself, considering the fact that rest of Giants were back in base. But it's still, for him, the fact he keeps getting these kills means he's gonna get that Blade Ring King a lot faster. And once you have that,
yeah.
I mean, you kill waves so fast with Hydra, you get to towers, you destroy them in a few seconds. As long as the rest of Giants can avoid the engage coming from H2K, again we mentioned how there's no hard engage. Do maybe want to take it back a little bit in the case we're probably going to get Righteous Glory Alistar or the Talisman and then the wall from Karthus. That can be enough for H2K to start fights. But it needs a lot of setup where Giants with this Trundle here can just destroy towers.
So Adri once again finds himself between multiple members of H2K. Even behind his own tower, he will be going down. Yarnan gets the kill. Whirlip has teleported in. Here comes Pepinero as well. The Requiem is being channeled, and it won't be enough for a kill. Whirlip is trying to put the pillar down. He finds himself Batong Yaka once more. Now Kasing's trying to escape. Gold card pulled. It will hold Kasing in place as the Buster Shot pushes Pepinero away. H2K get themselves a
Frederick.
1-for-2 trade and a tower. And Frederick, he's going to get a big shield from Agony's Embrace, but it's not enough. That was a terrible flank with no support. Prolly is smiling for days as H2K are extending their gold lead. Kill credit to Odomne. And apologies to viewers following the Turkish scene. I got it wrong. It was Dark Passage that beat Besiktas. Dumble Doge, not victorious to Fischer.
Well, no Dumble Doge hype then. Rydell, though, former Giants support, is on Dark Passage, so congratulations to him and the team beating Besiktas. Our game, though, congratulations to H2K and getting 4 kills down the bottom lane, I believe it was. Giants came down with TPs, everything. Pepinero joined in, but with the Karthus ulti and the fact that they'd already gotten that first kill on Adri, it was a fight in favor of H2K. And then Frederick, in the very end, goes in, realizes he was caught between 3 members and had nothing to do there. H2K, despite Giants having a better start, you see one of these mistakes coming in and then quickly H2K punished them.
Not for the first time this series. Adri being focused by H2K. That particular time was a dive from H2K. They caught him between 2 towers. That meant that H2K accelerated ahead. Giants will at least reply. Fan vote swinging heavily now in favor of the team that's 2-0 for fairly obvious reasons. But will Whirlip be able to pull enough pressure? Will Whirlip be able to play the split push game effectively enough? We talked a lot about styles and growth and history to Fischer, and Whirlip, when he was playing Jax, would try to split push, and not always make it work. I'll ask you to reply on that in a moment as Oduwamne is going to get caught out. The Pillar of Ice will prevent his escape, and kill credit should go to Werlib. Chomped for his 4th kill of the game.
Smart little trap to set up here with the pink one on the side of Giants. The rest of H2K were just expecting to kind of reset the map and go to each lane and sit and farm them out. So clearly not expecting it. Pipanero though getting jumped. Obviously Kalth's ult is ready on the side of Rio, so Yanin can play a bit aggressive, but that's the thing with Werlib. He's always doing a fantastic job getting fed on his own, but then sometimes we have seen where Giants should have been split pushing. They have opted to go team fighting instead. We're talking mainly about Jax here, but it hasn't played off. But this game, he's also itemizing the MR against the Fizz for some of the damage coming in, and he's just going to be such a beast.
Werlib is going to be able to get the tower. Destiny's being channeled for Pipanero to come into the middle lane, but he may take more damage than he wants. But Song Yaka is going to get caught by a lot of skill shots. Repel unable to prevent that damage. Giants, they're digging deep, and they're keeping themselves in this 3rd game. At 20 minutes, they are not down their traditional 2,000 gold. And that's not something we say very often.
And we need to get that Righteous Lord before we really start seeing the engages. Pipanero though,
he's going to be forced to ghost. Flash comes out of Ryu. No flash for Pipanero. No lay away. So Pepe survives the all-in from Ryu at the cost of Ghost.
And H2K really want to look for the big team fights. But in order to get these fights here, they either got to start setting up complete vision control around certain objectives, Baron or the Dragon. Dragon is not alive, so they're already switching up towards the top side with the Baron. Remember, Karthus can destroy it.
No.
Fizz as well. Elise as well.
Wow.
You have an insane team at taking down Barons. But look at the HP. We're 20 minutes in, guys, by the way. Werlib is coming, though.
Werlib. Flash has available. Baron's down to 1,500. 20 seconds, it's secured. H2K have got it, but how many will they lose? Ryu's down, he's going to start channeling the Requiem. It cannot be avoided. H2K stay in the pit. They picked up a kill onto Godfred. Frederick is trying to rampage across. The hate spikes are not enough. It is a 2 for 3 and Baron to H2K.
20 minutes in with Karthus, Elise, Fizz. The damage is insane on a single target. We see Giants, though, they very quickly realize it's going on, but it's just too late for him to move in. There's no reaction from Pipanero. He's stuck in base with no ulti, so it's a tricky situation for Giants and cannot do enough to stop it. So H2K, despite not being able to respond to the split push, they keep finding small openings, either through a tower dive or now through... Literally just said it. They need to start looking at some of these objectives with vision control, instantly go Baron.
H2K secure the earliest Baron of summer. In around 20 minutes, 20 seconds. It had literally just spawned. Subscribing a little bit to Fnatic's style of early Dragon play. They did lose a couple of members in the trade, though. But with the gold lead they've built up and the pushing power, it may help. Godfred and Werlib, they're looking for the 2-man.
Giants need to be careful they don't invest too many members here, because you have Baron buff on H2K's side. The wave here becomes a lot less effective on the side of Giants against it, and at the same time, sacrificing 1 kill in a lane where there's no outer turret to take down. If H2K can then break in towards the base of Giants, that would have been more than fine for them. So Godfred wisely enough recalls. Let Werlib handle himself up in that top lane, but there's no TP for him. So H2K can play super aggressive, and they should, because they can always get a 5 versus 4.
Crucially, AD carry and top laner maintain that Baron buff. And Oduwamne and Hyanin have not grouped up. Destiny comes middle. Insta-teleport from Oduwamne, keeping that minion alive. Flash pulverize, or rather just the headbutt pulverize, doesn't connect.
Why would Pipanero go in, though? You had no TP on your Trundle. Super risky play. Bottar just died, so you knew H2K were in your jungle. Has to flash out now, and he has
Tower dive coming in from H2K. Kasing has put down the unbreakable will. Pipanero is out without that flash or that Destiny, no vision. Hyanin may get taken down from Audrey. Audrey's alive in the back line, but it's Fredericks that's got the double kill. Requiem's being channeled. He's going to get 1 with the Defile and no more with the Requiem. I take it back as 1 more lay waste will correct that. 3 for 3. Audrey stays alive, and Giants are still 2,000 gold down at 23 minutes. That will be shrinking with another tower kill.
Yeah, these towers, again, they go down so fast. They might be able to take another one. Werlib will destroy it. H2K, they got the Righteous Glory. We talked about how they needed that to start these fights here. Instant dive. Oh, Petonga, I don't think you want this trade.
Definitely doesn't. Whirlip and Adri will focus the objective. And they'll keep things even. Despite the poor start to that fight, Giants come away looking okay.
I want to see if Kesing headbutted himself out of the tower aggro and it switched over to someone else on the side of H2K. Also, Yanin jumped in very aggressively and was suddenly caught behind the tower. And it just felt like H2K overcommitted to that one and didn't realize the amount of damage coming in from Giants. It was very clear, being like, okay, Pepinero just wasted flash. He's going to be our target. Go straight for him, kill him, clean up the fight. But there's still the troll here standing around, who's the beast.
The Cutlass has been picked up for Whirlip to go with his Spirit Visage and the Hydra. Teleport will be available very shortly for Whirlip. And Pepinero's got that Destiny up. Death cap for both mid laners. I want to see where this blasting wand goes for Ryu, but Pepinero, wow, he's jumped in and he's taken so much damage. He's dead before Ryu can get killed, and Ryu stays alive. That did not go the way Pepe and Giants wanted it to.
We've seen some very, very greedy teleports from Pepinero. Again, he gets full vision. He sees Elise is nearby and still believes they can take the fight. Really getting punished for it. Ryu is a man, he's gone full damage. No hourglass, and what we were talking about with this Rod of Age's first death cap as well.
Manly League of Legends with Ryu's cards.
Now he can go Rylai's if he wants to.
You're obsessing on Rylai's officially.
Dude, it's so good on Karthus. Land 1 Q and the guy's slowed for 40%. I mean, how's he ever gonna escape?
Well, Ryu doesn't need it yet. 6, 2, and 5. Helps that he has been gifted a few kills here and there. But for H2K, they are down 1 tower in the mid game. But considering their power, they can now take more. Whirlip is down. Finds himself caught out by 3 members of H2K. He had the support of Godfred and may have felt more comfortable than he should have. Chum the Waters is going to connect on Godfred. Odoam is trying to chase out Adri. Godfred falls. Everybody from Giants are falling. 3 members down. H2K give themselves a 6,000 gold lead in a few minutes. They take an inner turret and now they're on the inhibitor turret too.
It took 1 item and some levels on Ryu to stop Giants from really setting up effective swift pushes, because now with Righteous Glory and that wall from Karthus, you have enough engage on the side of H2K. Also, because Giants are overextending in the lane, so there's always that chance to start the fight. This time there was no tower in the way. They clean up a few more kills for themselves, and we simply haven't seen the synergy between a Twisted Fate and your swift pushing Trundle that can be so deadly to stop any counterplay from H2K. It's not been there.
So Hyanin trying to get away. Frederick is chasing from the jungle. Buster Shot keeps Hyanin alive for a few more seconds. Rocket jump over the wall. We saw a teleport from Whirlip into the jungle as well. And it did not pay off. 25,000 damage has been dealt by Ryu this game already. More than double anybody else in his team.
I like
really putting H2K and their semi-final hopes in his backpack.
Ryu's the
There is,
guy.
wait, there's a Rylai's. There's a Rylai's to Fisher.
Oh, I know.
When Ryu builds one, we'll talk about him more, but Frederick's got Rylai's on Hate Spike. Perma-slow.
It's very good on Evelyn. Especially because you are going to be building around these flanks. The problem still with the Evelyn pick is that what are you really going to do in the fights? Because again, you're going to walk into this Karthus here, and your job is obviously to constantly try and CC slow down people with these flanks coming in. The pillar comes down. Vision is up there from Destiny. All of H2K are grouped, and Godfred, he's going to throw out the Fisher before he runs away. Shutdown kill onto Ryu, but he's in the middle of the jungle. Frederick and Whirlip, they're trying to do what they can, but Frederick's down, Whirlip's down. 3 for 2. Adri follows suit. Pepe and Godfred. Even trade.
The last one alive. That's right. Ryu death defied. Finally takes him off the map. Even trade will at least stall the game, which is not a bad thing. But you're feeding H2K more kills and gold too.
Well, same for Giants though. 3 kills when you are behind. You take that fight very often. No objectives were taken. Let's see what happens. Godfred takes all the damage in the start. Flank coming in. We just talked about it from Frederick. Odomne gets single out. Doesn't manage to take down a target. That's again why they trade even. And also whenever Whirlip is going crazy in there. He's taking 1 or 2 guys down with him.
Got his Blade of the Rune King. Got his Merc trades. Ryu didn't actually use Requiem that fight, so that will be up for the next time. Giants try a Death Bush. Ryu's got a needlessly large rod.
It's gonna be the Hourglass. It's okay too, it's fine. There's still 1 more item to go. The thing is, okay, you also have the massive wall. And if people are already in a composition that is gonna run at you, you technically don't need to start to for more damage, but it's very good if you want to start cutting around Trundle. I mean, Trundle is one of these champions. Obviously doesn't have any, gap closes. He's gonna run at you. If you start slowing him down, it can become harder for Whirlip. It can become harder for the Evelyn as well. It's the same deal. Inconsistently dealing damage, and obviously what you want to do if you're Ryu. Yes, you want to be the big damage dealer, but you also want to peel a bit for Yanan on this Tristana. So like the late game for H2K, these 5-on-5s, is scary just looking at the 2 carries.
Godfred and the rest of Giants may be a little caught out. Whirlip decides to engage. He's being exhausted. Here comes Pepe into the middle of the fight. He gets a gold card down before flashing out. Ryu's in the middle of the lane, channeling that Requiem. They've traded 1 for 1 so far, and again, another dramatic fight. Frederick is going to get the reset to run away. It ends up being a 3 for 2, but H2K have got more carries alive. Jungle and support. H2K have got Super Minion pushing down.
Yeah, there's no wave clear at all. There's the Tristana. H2K are looking for these Nexus turrets now. Another messy fight, as you just said, but it's just 2 teams smacking the heads against each other over and over.
Chum the Waters is on Freddy, and Freddy's going to jump away. Not going to be enough. Kasing gets the headbutt pulverized. The laser's burning down the cow, but Hyanan's going to take out the Nexus turret. He's got 1, turns his attention to another. Super Minions are in the base. The Nexus is going down, and Giants will not be alive quickly enough. H2K will be sending Giants to the regional qualifier and will be advancing to face Origin in the semi-finals. Well, that was a hell of a convincing series from H2K.
Yeah.
Despite Game 3 being messier.
Game 3, though, was a game where Giants had a lot of options.
Yeah.
And I really don't feel like they used any of them. Whirlip was so strong, but not a single time did they manage to plan a gank or a counter gank for him. So instead of him going into these situations where he's like 1v2, 1v3, and he goes 1 for 1, add in a Twisted Fate, add in an Evelyn who's reading the situation properly, and that becomes a 2, maybe a 3-0 in favor of Giants because that Trundle was so strong on his own. But we always saw the ganks and the Twisted Fate so uncoordinated. 2 guys goes down for the gank when Twisted Fate has no ulti. Okay, then Twisted Fate gets the ulti, uses it mid lane in a gank that was never gonna work. Now it's on cooldown for the next fight Trundle has in the bottom lane, and there's no help. There were just so many things they could have done.
Yeah.
Didn't manage to use any of them, and then we just got these big 5-on-5 team fights, and we seriously talked about how Karthus is just gonna sit there and be like, please run at me. Over and over. Yanan died once because all the focus was on killing Ryu, who then still could deal damage. And that's why in the end, even though there were some close fights, it felt like H2K, as long as that cooldown's ready, would always come out at least 1 champion ahead. And that was enough once you had the base open.
And the 2 previous games.